as I have already given you the operators you need for if statement, let me now discuss part B of our chapter 2. You have the conditional structures, which will contain if statements and switch statement, and of course, loops. We will cover loops in a different part. Now, in this part, we are covering the first two types of control structure, which are the conditional statements, if statements and switch statements. Moving on, conditional statements will allow us to choose from different options. If the decision is true, or if the condition is true, then it will take the first option. If not otherwise, the other statement will be taken. So the Boolean expression is always needed. Boolean expressions are the conditions. That's why they are called conditional statements. These conditional statements are appropriate if you are going to have or to give options in your program. For example, you want to determine, like our example a while ago, the one which I've shown, you want to know whether you have passed or failed the subject based on your final marks. If your final marks is more than or equal to 67, then you pass. Otherwise, you fail. Now, those type of programming problems is applicable or will be solved using conditional statements, if statement. Again, these are always based on conditions or Boolean expressions. Boolean expressions are always written with conditional operators which will give us true or false value. The operators which I have given a while ago, those are relational or logical operators. So relational and logical operators will then be applied to our if statements and switch statements. Is it appropriate to use them? Yes, it's appropriate to use these operators with these conditional statements. Let's move on. We have the first one, which is the simple if. This type of if statement is so simple that if the condition is true, then a statement will be evaluated. The syntax shown here says that if you write if followed by a parenthesis, and inside the parenthesis, you are going to write the Boolean expression. Again, what are Boolean expressions? Boolean expressions are conditions. If you write condition, it will evaluate to either true or false. Simple if allows us to execute a statement if the condition is true. But what if the condition is false? Nothing will be done. Okay, that's why it's so simple that it will have only one option. For example, if commission rate is equal to 0.0, now let's try. If sales total is more than 10,000, then commission rate is equal to 0.05. Now, this actually should have sales total. Let's say sales total is 15,000. If it's true, then the commission rate will become 0.05. Okay, so this is so simple. It's so easy for you. Let's move on with the next one. For our if-else statement, the syntax or the basic format is this. Class, there's something missing here. Don't forget that if you are to create a statement or to write statement here, always terminate or end it with semicolon. This should have semicolon. Okay? Again, at the end of every statement, there should be a semicolon. Why did I tell that? Because here, after the condition or the Boolean expression, do not put semicolon there. Okay? Again, only here, you are going to put semicolon. After each and every statement, you are going to execute. But when you are executing or putting the Boolean expression or the condition on this line, do not put semicolon here. No semicolon. What is the syntax of if-else statement? So you have if in small letters because these are keywords. So you have to write it in all small letter and then proceeded by a parenthesis. Inside the parentheses are expression which will evaluate as Boolean value or Boolean expression, or it simply is called as condition. If condition is true, you evaluate this statement. But if this Boolean expression or condition is false, which one is to be executed? It's the else statement to be executed. Okay, again, if this condition is true, then take this statement. But if this Boolean expression or condition is false, you take the else statement. So that's if-else statement. When do we need if-else statement? If-else statement is used if you have two options. The two options are either the condition is true or the condition is false. So if you have two ways like true or false, then you use if-else statement. The other one which I have given a while ago is only if the condition is true. If the condition is true, then you do something. If false, nothing is to be done. But in here, there are two ways. If the condition is true, take the first statement or under the one you have written in your if. But if the condition is false, execute the else statement, which is in here, down here. Here is our example. For example, if sales total is less than or equal to 10,000, if this is true, then commission rate is 0.02 or 2%. But if this is false, then your commission rate is 5%. Okay, let's have it applied in program. Let's have it applied in program before we continue with other if statement. The other if statement is going to have multiple conditions. Okay, so with these two types of statement, you have only one condition. If the condition is true and nothing, and if it's false, nothing is to be done, you use simple if. But if there are two ways like if and else, like this one, then you can have if-else statement, if true or false. Now, let's go and apply it with practical. Let's try to create a new program. Okay. Sample 1 in if. Okay, I'll have my first sample in if statement. So in my first example, I'm going to show you a simple if, and then I'm going to show you how you are going to continue and make it as if-else statement. Let's say I'm going to have that program which we have here in this presentation material, which I have asked you to try. Look at this one. This is the program which I have asked you to try a while ago. Let's try this program. Okay. So we'll have this program as simple if statement. So say I'm going to declare a variable which will hold our grade or our mark. Let's just have total mark, because you are more familiar with total marks. So total marks, let's say, equal to 85, semicolon. Okay, so let's have our condition. What is the syntax of if statement? Let me just remind you. You start with if, followed by the Boolean expression. Boolean expression is going to be evaluated with either true or false. So therefore, it should use relational conditions or relational operators. So if total marks, for you not to misspell, you just copy and paste. If the total marks is more than or equal to 67, then let's display system dot out dot print line. Okay. Let's display pass, correct? How will you pass this course? To pass this course, you will need more than or equal to 67 mark. What is our total mark here? Our total mark here is 85. So 85. Is 85 more than 67? This is true, correct? So it should display pass. Now let's try that. It's very simple. Aywa, did you see that? Total mark is pass. 67 because it's 85. Let's just make it bigger. So the student have passed. So this is the simple if statement. Simple if. Why? Because you have only one statement. There's no else statement. So look at this class. What will happen if I put semicolon here? As I've told you a while ago, do not terminate the line here. If you are going to put semicolon here, it means this is the end of the if statement. This is not included in the if statement anymore. See, I have error there, right? It means that after this condition is evaluated, it will stop. Remember that semicolon is our terminator. Terminator means the one who will stop the line. So meaning if you have stopped the line here, it will not continue here. Okay, do we have error? Yes, you can see this error. Now let's try and prove that by executing it also. But no need to execute because it's wrong. Or even if you will execute, this pass here will not be displayed anymore. Or because it's considered as a new statement, then it will also display pass. But it's not part of the if statement anymore. So don't put semicolon there. Now let's continue with else statement. So if I'm going to put, look at that class. If I'm going to put all capital letter, is it correct? If I'm going to put all capital letter, it's wrong. This should be in bright blue color. Yes, because it's a keyword. So don't put it in all capital letter. All keywords are in small letters. Keywords are in small letters and they will become bright blue color. So I will have now if else statement. If this condition is true, then it will say pass. But if this condition is false, it should say fail. So let's say failed. Okay, the mark is failed. Now let's try. It will still display pass, correct? Yes, because the value is 85. What if it's 65? Is 65 going to give you pass mark? No, it will not give you a passing grade. It will say fail. Did you see the output? Again. Okay. Let me try to change that. Okay, a while ago, this is 85. Now let's try 75. Is 75 more than 67? Yes, it's true. It should say pass. Let's show that. Okay, it says pass. What if it's only 55? 55 is not more than or equal to 67, then it should say fail. Okay, so it says fail. Now, what if I want to display the mark, the total mark? I want to display the total mark. Let's say I want to display it here. Okay, so before I will say pass, I will say I will display the total mark. So I have total marks. All right, total marks is equal to, and then I will have the total marks here. Copy and paste. So do I have the total marks now? Am I displaying the total marks now? Yes, before I display that the total marks is passed, I will display, or I will have first total marks. But look at this class. If I'm going to have this, I have error here. What do you think is the error? What do we need for us to evaluate or execute 2 lines of code? What do we need? Something is needed here. In your programming 1, you were taught that if you have multiple lines to be evaluated in your if statement, you have to enclose them with begin and end. So again, if you have multiple lines, a while ago, I did not put begin and end. Why? Why is that? It's not needed because I have only single line. So I do not need to enclose them with begin and end. But now I have 2 lines of statement to execute if this condition is true. If I will remove this, I'm gonna have some error. Now let me just show you that we will have error if I don't have begin and end here. Let me run that. See, compilation error is there. So let's just cancel that. Why? Because I will need to enclose it with begin and end. So let's put begin for our if and then end. So this is now our statements. These are the statements to be done if this condition is true. Now let me run that. Let me put it back to 85. Let me run this program. So see, total marks equal to 85, and then it says pass. If I'm going to put here begin and end, no problem also. Will it give me an error? Let's say I have single line and I'm putting begin and end. Will I have error? No problem. So single line or double lines or multiple lines, if you have enclosed them with begin and end, that's not a problem at all. Okay, it will allow you. So see, it is still giving us the same value. What if I have, let's say, 78? 78 should be passed. So see, it's changing to 78. Now, what if I want to do this statements in only single line? What will I do? Help? What if I want to do this here? I want it in single line only. I want to put the total marks. So let me put the total marks first. Or I can say total marks. Let me just have it here. 78. I want the output 78 is failed. So I will have the value first. And then I'll put here is failed. So can I have statement like this? Look at this. Total marks will be displayed first. So it will retrieve the value of the total marks. What is the value of the total marks? 78. So I have 78 is failed. Okay? Or you can say total marks 78 is failed. Or you can just have 78 is failed. So what did I do here? I have just reversed this statement. I have the value first and then concatenation symbol or plus symbol. I am combining it with a string message. So will it work? Is this okay? Yes, it is okay. It will show the output total mark or the mark. Let's say I will have 58. 58 is a failed mark. Or 58 is failed. Now let's see and try that. This is the output a while ago. Now let's change that. Let's see the output. See? 58 is failed. Is that true? Is 58 going to fail? Give you failing mark? Yes, you are failed if your total mark is only 58. So again, what did we have here? We had here discuss when do we need begin and end in if statement. That is, if we have multiple lines, you must always enclose them with begin and end. Now, if it's a single line like this, you have begin and end, you have enclosed with begin and end, no problem. So we have the output here. Or without begin and end, because anyway, it's just one line. Will it still work? No, I will just show it to you, just to show it to you. Let's say 45 only. This is failed. Will it still work? Will it still going to give us a correct output? Yes, it will. So it will say 45 is failed. There you have 45 is failed. Okay? Any question with this if-else statement? Any question?
No, teacher.
No. Okay. Now, yes?
If we do it in only one line, we don't need to put this.
Begin and end.
Yeah.
Yes, because the rule says if you have multiple statements like this one, okay, how many lines you are doing here? I have 2 lines, no? So what are the lines? I have line 1 that displays the total marks, and then I have line 2 that displays the message whether the marks, the total marks is pass or fail. Okay, so 2 lines. More than 1 line, you have to have begin and end. Otherwise, you will get error. But if it's single line, you may put begin and end, or no begin and end here in the else statement, no problem. See, this one without begin and end, and it's single line. But even if I put also begin and end, no problem. It will also work. See, I will show you, huh? Okay, so it's still working the same way as a while ago. So it's safer to always put begin and end so that you don't forget it. Other questions? Any other question? Okay, none. Now, last meeting class, just to continue with the same program, last meeting, I have told you how you will input a value, right? Do you still remember? What are the steps for us to input a value? To input a value, we will need to import the scanner class, correct? So can you help me? I'd like to input this value instead of assigning this. What are the steps we will need? We will need to declare the scanner class, correct? So again, let me just insert an input method here. So the first step we do is to declare the scanner object. You still remember this? Scanner, let's say KB equals to new scanner. This is how you will input scanner, and then it should be on the same line. No problem, different lines. So let's have it on the same line. System in. I am uploading now the video. Not inherited. Right? So we have system dot in. So why do we need this? We need this because we will need the scanner class, which is going to be imported here. Look at this. When you type this line, after you type this line, you have this error. Why do we need this? Why is it giving error? Because we want to import the scanner class. So just click this, and then you can add or you can import the Java utility scanner. Can you see that? Okay. If you click on this red mark or in this error message here, it will show us the options of what we will need to import or to include. So what do we need here? We need the first one only. We need to import or add Java utility scanner. So let's just click that. See what happened? It automatically added the import or imported the Java utility class, which is the scanner class. Did you see that? Okay, so line 1 or first step, this is for input. You write the scanner object, which is named as KB here. So scanner object name, which is KB, equal to new scanner system.in. The only thing you can change in this line is this one. This is an identifier. This is our object name. You can change this as you wish. Like in our previous example, we have used SC for scanner. So you can use SC, you can use KB, you can use your name. And then after that, you have to write the import. Okay? You have to import the Java utility scanner. And then, of course, after that, you can already have the prompt that says input or enter total marks. So we'll have system.in print. Okay, so if you know the statement, so we'll have print line. Okay, we'll have here enter total marks. So we are to enter the total marks instead of assigning. So we'll have semicolon. How do we input again? You write the variable name. So copy, and then followed by equal, followed by the object name. This is copy and paste. And that, next. Okay, what is the data type of the variable we are entering? It's integer, no? So we will use next in, semicolon. Okay, again, there are 3 steps here I have included. The first one is to create scanner object. So this is declaration of your scanner object. And then step 2, you have to import the Java utility scanner. And then Step 3, you can now input the value using the input method next int. What is the syntax? The object name you write here, dot the method you will need. Why did I use next int? Because I have here integer data type. Okay, say I have this as double. What should I use here? Say I have declared it as double. Let's say 45.5. If I have used double here, I should use what statement? Next?
Double.
Double. Very good. Okay. Again, yes. If I have integer here, it should be next int. But since I have changed it to double, it should be now next double. So if you want to have it as double, then you have to put point there, because otherwise you will get error also. Or you remove this. Why do I need to remove that? Because I will enter, right? I don't need to assign value anymore because I have entered here. Okay, we have some error. What's wrong? Print line method. Okay, let's see. Let's try this program. So we have an input, and then we have if statements. Let's try the program. We have a compilation error. What's wrong? Okay, let me try to do it again. SC dot next double, right? Semicolon. Okay, it's giving me error here. System.in.println.
Teacher, you write system in. You should
write.
write
Out. Yes. Thank you. That should be system.out because this is output. You use system.in within the parameter of your scanner. Okay, let's run. Thank you. So now we will input the value of your total marks. So this should be your first output. Enter total marks. Okay, let's enter the total marks. See, the prompt is going on the next line. Why? Because we have used print line there. Okay, let's say I will input 56. 56 should be fail. See that? 56 is fail. Let's run it again. So you are now going to be able to enter different values. You can test different values now. Let's enter. Go to the output. Let's say I have 77. 77 should be pass. So enter key. So see that? Total mark 77 and that mark is pass. Okay. Clear? Any question, class? This is our simple if statement and if else statement with our example that allows you already to enter a value. All right. Any question, class? None. I'd like you to try this one with input. I'd like you to try the example which I have given you a while ago. This is the same example which was given, okay, in the PowerPoint presentation. I just want you to change this with input. I'd like you to input the value instead of assigning, and I'd like you to display also the grade, right? So can you try that? I'll wait for you while I prepare your lab activity 3 for if-else statement. Any question, class? Any question with this example? Any question?
No.
No. Okay, let me just show you the clear view of this one. I'd like you to try it. So we have also with input here. Okay, can you try? You can try. Now let's continue with if statement by giving you this lab activity. You are to enter values for the employee details, which are the employee's ID, employee number, the name of the employee, and the basic salary. All of those which you have entered as the details of the employee is going to be displayed also. So you have input, but then output. Now, for you to have the if statement, you are to enter the bonus code. If the bonus code is equal to 1, then bonus you will assign as equal to 40. Else if, then bonus is 25. Else if, then bonus is 10. Else if, then your bonus is no bonus, 0.0. After that, you calculate and display the net salary, which is basic plus the bonus you have assigned. Now, before you start this exercise, I'd like to show you the solution. Or I'd like to give you an example which will have if-else statement. And you can also give assignment statement. For example, the same program which we have a while ago. Now, for the same program, I'd like to assign the character or the remarks for this particular statement. Let's say I'm gonna put the remarks in string. Let's have it string, and then remarks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have if-else if statement. So I'm going to have two things here. I'm going to give or assign the remarks, and at the same time, I'm going to apply if-else if statement. Okay? Say what if I'm going to have the first one. If it's more than or equal to 67, it's pass. But what if it's more than or equal to 90? If it's actually more than or equal to 90, this is not only pass, it's an excellent mark or excellent grade. So if it's more than or equal to 90, I will put the remarks as excellent. Okay? But let's have another condition. If it's more than or equal to only 80, then I will say very good. What remark I will put? I will say mark is very good. Right? So how many conditions did we have now? I have first condition. Yeah. If this first condition is true, I will execute this statement. Otherwise, if this condition is true, I will execute this statement. Okay, can I have some more? Yes, I can have some more. I can have if else it's equal to, let's say this is the one I will put as 67. Okay, more than or equal to 67. Total marks is pass. All right. Then I will have the last one. I will have else system.out the print line. This is the one in which I will now put as failed. Okay, so what do we got here? What we have here are an example of if-else if statement. If we are going to continue with the PowerPoint presentation, the syntax of if-else if statement is the following. So you have here, if Boolean expression 1 is true, then take this statement 1. Else if Boolean expression 2 is true, then this is the one who will be taken as the statement. Else if this 2 is not yet true, but this one is true, then we'll take the statement. Otherwise or else, there can be an else option also here, then the statement else is going to be taken. So let me revise that. This should have semicolon, this should have semicolon, this should have semicolon. If none of this is going to be true, then I'll have, this should be small letter, else. You take the statement here. Statement for else. Aywa. So this is the syntax of your if-else if statement or if-else if ladder. So what do we got? If Boolean, this is the condition. If Boolean expression is true, take this statement. Else if this is also true, take this statement. Else if this is true, take this statement or execute this statement. Otherwise, if all of these are false, then the else statement will be executed. The same thing as we have done in our program, we have applied here, if, else, if statement. If this condition is true, you execute this statement. Else if this is the one which is true, you take this. Otherwise, this one. If none of these first three is true, then you take the failed statement or else statement. Let's try this program. Let's run it. Okay, let's enter the mark. Let's say I'm going to have it as 93. If it's 93, then you see that total marks is 93 and it is excellent. Where is that displayed? It's displayed here. All right, now let's run it once more. What if it's failed? Let's say I'm going to put 63 instead of 93. If it's only 63, then it will say failed. See that? Okay. So if whether this is true or this, whichever condition is evaluated to true, the statements under that will be the one to be executed or evaluated. Let's test this one. 80. Let's try 85. Let's input 85. 85. It should say very good. Is it saying very good? Yes, it is saying very good. Okay, clear on that? Any question? Question? None.
No.
None. Okay. Now, instead of these remarks, because we are displaying that already, I'd like to assign a character value which will handle the I want to assign a character value that will handle the grade. Okay, that grade letter, no? Letter grade. You know grade letter, whether it's A, B, C, okay? So let's just call it as the grade letter. Okay, or let's simply, can I simply call it grade? Is that okay? Okay. So
Yes.
if it's more than or equal to 90, it's A, no? Let's assign that. So we'll assign a grade. This is assignment statement. Grade is equal to character A. Isn't so? Isn't it? Yeah? Correct? Yes. What if it's more than or equal to 80 only? What if it's 80 only? Let's assign it as B. Okay. So let's have it as B. All right. Now, if it's only pass, most probably this is only C. Let's have it as C. A, B, C. And if it's failed, it's D. I will not put that anymore. Okay? See that? This is assignment statement. Why is teacher giving this? Because you will also assign here, no? You remember this one? If bonus code is equal to 1, then bonus equals to 40. Else, if bonus code is equal to 2, then bonus is equal to 25. That's why I'm giving this example to you. Okay? Now, can I display the grade letter now? Can we display the grade letter? Yes, you can display that. You can say final grade. You can have final grade is equal to, I have here the grade. Okay, so what it will show, can I put it here or I can have it one time here after if else statement here. Can I do that? So that it's one time, not needed to repeat for every if statement. See that? So after this if code or block is executed, I will display the final grade, which is assigned here. All right. Only when it is D, it's not assigned. So let's also assign here so that it will have also the final grade. So let's copy this. Are you following, class? Are you following? I hope so. Following? Are you still
Yes,
with me?
teacher.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you. Okay. So
Yes,
what is
teacher.
this now? This is grade B. So see that? If grade is more than 90, then it's excellent and grade is A. If it's more than 80, then grade is B. If it's more than or equal to 67, it's pass and it may be C. If it's failed, then your final grade is D. Let's try to run that. Okay, what do you want? Which grade do you want? You want failed? Okay, let's try C. Let's try C because a while ago we haven't tested that. Let's try C. Let's have 70. 70 should say pass and C. See? Okay, 70 is pass and final grade is C. Correct? Okay, now let's try also the last one. This one, grade D, I want fail. Let's say 54. 54 should say fail, but it's not displaying 54. Huh? We did not display that. And see, 54 is failed and final grade is D. So this example will help you, I think. I hope so. So we have here already the complete forms of if, else, if statement with multiple lines of statement, with assignment statement also. There you have our example of if, else, if statement with assignment statement inside. All right. Now I think you are ready to do this lab activity 3 or lab exercise 3. This is going to be submitted in Moodle, huh? Okay, any question, class? Do you have any question regarding this exercise 3? Any question?
No, teacher.
No, okay. You can try the sample first and do this exercise, or if you think you can do it right away, then you can do it right away, right now itself. Okay, I will display this as your reference. Thank you. You can start your program now.